This bud is for you. No, not you. No, not him, not her. This is for them. It's a wonderful day in the homiehood, a wonderful day for a homie. Won't you be my homie to Taro? Bud Light is in the middle of being boycotted by a bunch of transphobes. Another story here, just people losing their goddamn minds over what is essentially just capitalism functioning as normal. Budweiser is finished. Why are you celebrating someone wearing a dress for a year? Woke light? No thanks. This is probably the funniest one from Cat Turd TM, who is a renowned Twitter conservative. Basically, they have way too much influence for a cat turd conservative, but they have 1.6 million followers, and they are one of the leading thinkers on conservative Twitter. So the headline here from Rolling Stone, who has done actually quite a good job being on the right side of trans issues. Kid Rock buys cases of Bud Light so he can shoot them while crying. I haven't seen any of the videos out of this. 1 full year since she began her journey, having transitioned. So that is like great, you know, like somebody celebrating who they are. Again, this was a single beer can with Mulvaney's likeness on it, and it didn't even appear on the grid. You had to look at her Instagram stories to see it. It's shocking to me always that all of these transphobes, they talk more about trans people than trans people themselves. You know, like they are absolutely obsessed. So here is Dylan Mulvaney, just living their best life. They have 1.7 million followers on Instagram, which thank goodness is more than Cat Turd on Twitter. They only have 1.6. Ha, cuck. And then here is the what do you call it? The Instagram reel in question. Oh my god, I hate Instagram reels, but they start faster than I can even turn the volume on, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be no volume control here, which is also just annoying. So let me turn this down to like low.
Turns out it has something to do with sports.
And restart the video.
Hi. Impressive carrying skills, right? I got some Bud Lights for us. So, I kept hearing about this thing called March Madness, and I thought we were all just having a hectic month, but it turns out it has something to do with sports. And I'm not sure exactly which sport, but either way, it's a cause to celebrate.
So, I mean, this is just somebody being an influencer on Instagram, and obviously this is a paid segment, right? Happy March Madness. Just found out this had to do with sports and not just saying it's a crazy month. They're obviously joking. In celebration of this sports thing, Bud Light is giving you the chance to win $15,000. Share a video with hashtag easy carry contest for a chance to win. Good luck, but hashtag Bud Light partners. So yeah, this is clearly just like marketing in action. This is a function of capitalism using trends and popular people to promote your product. So this is March Madness and Dylan Mulvaney. This is literally bringing conservatives to tears.
This month I celebrated my day 365 of womanhood, and Bud Light sent me possibly the best gift ever, a can with my face on it.
Okay, we missed it. It was there for a second. A can with her face on it.
Check out my Instagram story to see how you can enjoy March Madness with Bud Light and maybe win some money too. Love ya! Cheers! Go team! Whatever team you love, I love too. Okay.
That's it. I mean, it's cringe to me because it's like Instagram marketing. And it's like awful in that sense. But this is how the world works, unfortunately. So of course Kid Rock has lost their goddamn mind, which they probably barely ever had to begin with, and they've purchased a bunch of Bud Light so that they can shoot at it. This is kind of reminiscent of when conservatives were canceling Nike over black football players taking a knee during the national anthem to highlight the systemic injustices that they face. And I guess now they're buying Bud Light in order to shoot their guns at it. Let's take a look.
Grandpa's feeling a little frisky today. Let me say something to all you and be as clear.
I am not too young to... You mean freedom fries? I'm not too young to remember French fries being canceled because what? The French didn't support invading Iraq? That is insane.
And concise as possible.
Bro, I think he like missed more than he hit. He had a pretty big target.
Fuck Bud Light and fuck Anheuser-Busch. Have a...
The funniest thing though is that this is fantastic marketing. Dylan Mulvaney is getting paid to do this marketing. Kid Rock isn't getting paid. He had to buy that Bud Light himself. And it's basically the same thing. It's like, this is like outrage marketing, you know?
Terrific day.
9.8 million people thought to themselves, hey, I kind of want a Bud Light now. Okay, can we just take a moment here and appreciate how badly he like missed? Okay, actually, it's pretty cool to just watch this explode. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I guess he missed like after the fact. I was just seeing that one that popped back. I guess he missed after. Why is there so much? Oh, was it maybe glass or bullets hitting over here? I don't know. All right, he did a decent job, and it was pretty fun to watch Bud Light explode. Not gonna lie. But again, this is all just marketing for Bud Light. Like, that's the funny thing. And you know, this is why like boycotts don't work. And this is why I was so against the boycotting of the J.K. Rowling video game Hogwarts Legacy, because it doesn't work. All it does is it ends up driving trending towards that topic, which in turn results in more purchases of that product. You know, like 9.8 million people saw a video with the Bud Light logo being blown up in a fantastic fashion. That's actually good for Bud Light. That's what Bud Light wants. That's what Bud Light's plan is. When they give Dylan Mulvaney money to do a very innocent spot, they know they're going to get a lot of traction on this because of like reactionaries like Kid Rock here losing their goddamn mind, you know? And here's another person, Sebastian Gorka, who is like, I don't know, some Republican stooge.
You virtue signaling bunch of cultural cuckolds.
I love how they're virtue signaling, but they're blaming Bud Light of virtue signaling that what? Human rights matter. But then they also virtue signal to their respective audiences, and they are doing their virtue that they're signaling is that human rights don't matter. Bruh, you know he bought this, and you know he put it back in the fridge and drank it after. Like, this is pathetic.
You virtue...
Hell yeah, brother. Wow, getting dunked on by Shoe on Head. Like, you know this is gonna get drunk later. Okay, oh, Shoe on Head is obviously joking here. Like, Shoe on Head has some bad takes, but she's clearly making fun of Sebastian Gorka. He doesn't get the joke though. That's funny. Cancel culture. Yeah, that's the funny part too, that this is cancel culture. Think of the people who work at Bud.
Okay, if you don't know why I'm doing this, you might want to Google it. I never thought this was going to happen.
See, this guy is also such an idiot. He's like, if you don't know why I'm doing this, you might want to Google it. It's like, bro, you're literally doing marketing for Budweiser. If you Google Bud Light, that's good for them. You know, like they're honestly so dumb. And this, again, the left should not ever engage in boycotting because it doesn't work. It actually drives sales for whatever you're trying to boycott. Okay, jeez. Couldn't he make this video faster? Why is he moving so slow?
You might want
I just drink Coors Light from now on, brother.
Figure out if you want to do the same.
Wow, of course he drives a monster truck. Like how microscopic is this man's dick that he needs to drive a car like this?
This is where it
Yes,
now
thank you for
belongs. In the garbage.
Bro. Tell your alcoholic friends to be going through like Republicans' garbage cans right now. That's full of Bud Light that hasn't been drunk. And you get the 10 cents after. Is that it? He's got more? Okay, this video is just this man showing off his like compound or whatever.
Next stop.
Like this guy clearly loves Bud Light. Like what is he doing? He has several fridges around his compound where he keeps his monster trucks and Range Rovers, and they're all full of Bud Light. Like why like you just clearly love Bud Light. Just enjoy your beer that you love. Exactly. He's already paid for this beer, and he's actually doing fantastic marketing right now for Bud Light.
Ain't nothing new. Like I said, if you don't know, you should probably Google it.
If you don't know, you should Google it. If you don't know, you should talk about it online and use the hashtag Bud Light while you do it in order to drive sales towards this product that I also very clearly love. But you know, I'm probably gonna pull this out of the recycling, or you know, my teenage son who isn't as big of a transphobe as I am is probably gonna go through the recycling and like get the beer out later. Okay, another person here. Wow, this is the first pack of Coors Light I've ever bought. No joke. It's like, I'm still an alcoholic, brother. Don't worry. It's like, okay. Like, it's like, wow, you changed one beer that tastes like water for another beer that tastes like water. All right, we got Candace Owens here getting angry as well, of course.
Hi. Impressive carrying skills, right? I got some Bud Lights for us. So, I kept hearing about this thing called March Madness.
Look at her. Like, is she trying to be outraged?
And I thought we were all just having a hectic month, but it turns out it has something to do with sports. And
Imagine being like triggered by this.
I'm not sure exactly
Like, trans person exists, conservatives triggered.
which sport, but either way, it's a cause to celebrate. This month, I celebrated my day 365 of womanhood, and Bud Light sent me possibly the best gift ever, a can with my face on it. Check out my Instagram story to see how you can enjoy March
As if like the Daily Wire would not be above putting like somebody's face on a beer can.
Madness with Bud Light and maybe win some money too. Love ya!
So why does
That's very Bush League.
this make me so angry? First off, it's that repeated stereotype of women being stupid. It's woman face. And what is the stereotype
Oh right, so this is the other thing. They're trying to make like woman face happen. Especially Candace Owens, obviously, because she's black. You know, if you see race. But they're trying to make woman face happen and make it a comparison to blackface. And it's obviously not the same. And it's just like, if you don't understand how it's not the same, then I don't know, you're kind of an idiot. Like,
of a woman being stupid? I kept hearing this thing about like March Madness, and I thought that maybe we were all just having a tough month, but I guess it has something to do with sports, and I don't know what sport it is because like girls don't know anything about like sports. So like,
I mean, yeah, that's what she's doing, but like, it's like, hey, this just in, breaking news. Women acting like bimbos on Instagram in order to sell products. This is a new phenomenon.
we'd have never heard of March Madness ever. And thank you, Dylan, for wearing women face, reminding us all how women just don't like sports and have never heard of March Madness, because I assume we've never heard of college basketball. We've never done a bracket, which I actually have done and which I do every single year because it's fun to do a bracket with your friends.
Okay, geez. Some women like sports. other women don't like sports. Breaking news.
And you don't have to be explicitly a man or a woman to do that. But okay, let's keep leaning into the stereotype. And Bud Light has thought this is funny, and this is
The funny thing is, like, they would probably be in super support of like trad wife Instagram, TikTok influencers. They're probably like, yes, this is good. Like in a different context of the culture war that they're
promoting
fighting.
it. If you think that's bad, don't worry, because also this little pervert's going to get into a bathtub and tell you all about March Madness. Take a listen.
She has 1.7 million Instagram followers. If she wants to get into a bathtub with a Bud Light for the bag, then why the hell wouldn't you?
We thank you for your patience.
Wonderful. There, in case you're listening to this podcast and you
This really actually like dates the Daily Wire here. It's like they don't know that like TikTok and Instagram videos exist and they're seeing it for the first time.
are not
Like I think I don't watch that stuff, but I don't also be like, I can't believe this exists.
watching it, it's just Dylan Mulvaney splish splashing in a bath with bubbles, because everybody knows girls love bubble baths and Bud Light and dancing.
Yes. Very stereotypical. Girls love Bud Light. Yes.
And people should be upset about this. I have to ask the question, who is the intended audience?
Presumably the 1.7 million people that follow what's her name? Mulvaney, Dylan.
Again, men that participate in March Madness, women that participate in March Madness. Who is the intended audience?
Who is your intended audience, Candace?
When you see this pervert in a bath.
What's wrong with being a pervert? And as long as you're like not hurting anyone, right?
Living out his fetishes and his
Had to come in with the misgender.
fantasies as a little girl. I don't know why they're doing this. It begs the question, who made the decision? Is this a
You should live out your fantasies, actually.
diversity, equity, and inclusion person? Or did somehow
I love, she really just crams as many like trigger words in there as possible. Like she just said DEI. Why? This has nothing to do with DEI.
Sam Adams, a different beer company, get a Trojan horse in there and convince Bud Light to tank its own company? Because it is going to hurt Bud Light, obviously. This is now
I love that they keep doing the marketing for it.
they're associating themselves with transgenderism. There's nothing less manly
Yeah.
than a grown man dressing up like a little girl. This is not how, if I was
You know, the Daily Wire released their entire own like chocolate brand as a result of the Hershey being inclusive of trans people in their marketing. And you have to think that these major corporations, they know what they're doing. You think that they have not weighed the cost of people boycotting their product versus the amount of publicity and sales they're going to drive by doing something like this? You think the people there, the capitalists, the marketing team, you think they haven't thought about this? You think they don't know exactly what they're doing? Come on.
was in a boardroom and I meaningfully wanted to help a company, I would never offer that you have a transgendered weirdo sitting in a bathtub splashing with bubbles pretending
What's wrong with being a weirdo or transgender?
to be a little girl. So who's behind this? Why are we seeing
Who's behind this? Who's doing this? Candace, it was Budweiser.
corporate push for transgenderism everywhere, upon every stage, and in every room? Why are they trying to convince people of this evil, that they can choose their gender as easily as they can select their clothes?
I mean, you can actually you can wake up in the morning and choose your gender. So interesting. Hey, we all put our gender on one leg at a time.
Beer is a psyop, ladies and gentlemen. We are told very often that.
Oh my God. Okay, this is Vince Dow. I have no idea who this is. Bud Light was a psyop long before Dylan Mulvaney. Light beer is loaded with estrogen, yet we convince ourselves it's a manly drink. Oh my God, this is unhinged. There's always one Asian guy who like hops on the fascist bandwagon and thinks that they're white, but as we don't claim them.
At least like light beer like this, right, is a man's drink. probably because it's so disgusting. So like, yeah, it's manly because it's gross and tastes terrible. But it's not.
It's not that it tastes terrible. It just doesn't taste like anything.
Because first of all, not only is it 4.2% alcohol, yeah, you're a real tough guy drinking your 4.2% Bud Light.
It kind of is funny that he is calling them out. It's like, yeah, it's not really a manly drink. It's like, it is 4.2% water. There's nothing manly about it. Like,
not only is it bad for you, very bloating, not only does it make you fat, guys, it is literally full of estrogen, okay? Beer is full of estrogen. That is correct. Bud Light contains phytoestrogen and prolactin.
You know, men have estrogen though, too, right? Like, you do have some.
Both of which increases the level of estrogen production in your body.
Bud Light will make you trans. It's true. It will make you a woman.
Huh. I really wonder why this has been sold as a man's drink for the past few decades in America. Surely that is not a coincidence, right?
Oh my God. He's literally drinking like the Kool-Aid here. I guess he's drinking Kool-Aid and not Bud Light.
Surely convincing men that drinking a bunch of stuff full of estrogen and telling them it's actually a manly thing to do is not a psyop to emasculate men, right? Let me put it this way, because I know this take might be controversial, but the men who built America did not drink Bud Light. Okay, can I say it that way? The founding fathers drank rum, right? Most men throughout history drank a lot of whiskey, right?
What is he trying to say? It's called whiskey dick for a reason. Like, if you can't get it up because you drank too much, that's not really manly either.
That's kind of been the connotatively manly liquor in this country. Compare that stereotype too. For everyone's like, oh, beer and whiskey, so cool. Compare the stereotype of a Western cowboy shooting whiskey, or even like a 1950s businessman drinking whiskey, with a fat, out of shape, middle-aged dad screaming at a sports game with his Bud Light. Like, I get it that nowadays in America that is considered masculine, but when you really think about it, what is actually really all that masculine about that, right?
I mean, I love that he's challenging like traditional masculinity here.
Sure. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I think the out of shape, fat, sports ball dad is still more masculine in comparison to the millennial stoner hippie liberal that he makes fun of. But
what is he talking about? Like different archetypes of men exist. And then he is like absolutely triggered. I guess I'm more of a stoner hippie archetype, but whatever. So you can be both.
Do you see how our standards have really slipped as a society? Do you see what I'm saying with this whole beer is a psyop?
I've transitioned from a beer sports loving dad into a stoner movie loving dad. I'm actually trans now.
They're literally trying to get men to drink estrogen and convince them that it's the masculine thing to do. And they tell you, oh, you think beer is gross? That's not just because your body's rejecting it because it's crap. No, you're just not a man. You're not a man. You can't handle Bud Light. Yeah, again, okay, Mr.
Who cannot handle Bud Light? Like, who is out there being like, I can't handle it. It's too manly for me. Like, I just don't drink it because it tastes bad. Well, it tastes like nothing. I like actually tasting the beer when I drink it.
4.2% alcohol. You're a real tough guy at your NFL game, aren't you? You see what I'm saying? Again, beer is a psyop.
Yeah, it's possible. I think a lot of people in this situation, when they're so passionate about ideas like this, I don't know if he's in the closet. I think he might like women, but it's probably trans women. Like he's just like a bit shy about that.
Designed to give you man boobs. I'm not exaggerating that. I'm not, this is just true. And let Dylan Mulvaney on the face of Bud Light confirm that to you. This is true.
It was literally one can. You can't even buy. It was one can so that they can do their internet marketing video that these people are like pushing harder than anybody else in the world. And they lost their damn minds.
The face of Bud Light.
Misgendered. Okay, wow. What an original take. Misgendering a trans person. Wow. The cutting edge right-wing take here.
And hormonally, like I said, it actually makes perfect sense. If you drink liquid,
it makes perfect sense.
Estrogen, you
liquid estrogen
become liquid estrogen. There you go.
You are
beer
what
heads.
you drink.
See that?
That
you
is
drink
true.
Bud Light, you're literally gay. I don't know what to tell you, okay? Do you want to be like
You drink Bud Light, you're literally gay. I guarantee you he's drank Bud Light. That's how you know he's in the closet, Purple Mavis, because he's probably drank Bud Light in his life. How would he know what it tastes like if he hasn't drank it? So he's basically come out of the closet now, saying that he's literally gay.
Dylan? I don't think so. I don't think so, men. Now, actual beer, let me say, if you're German, you know, drink actual lager. If that's your thing, I don't know. I'm not very familiar with all this stuff.
He doesn't even drink. Like, he doesn't care. You know, like, it doesn't matter. Just drink whatever you want to drink.
But
you know what's not manly? You know what's okay, I'll tell you right now. You know what's not manly is being insecure about your masculinity based on the beverage that you're consuming. You know, that is like the least attractive thing you can do as a man. I will tell you right now, if you want to attract a hot woman to be attracted to you, being insecure about your masculinity and thinking that it's gay to drink whatever drink, that's not a good move, bro. This is my manosphere advice to the listeners out there, okay?
I'm just saying, like Bud Light, Natty Light, all that stuff. First of all, it tastes awful, okay? I had like one in high school because it's like
he had one in high school. Confirmed. He is gay.
Like, high school party, let me try. No, it's horrible, okay? It's horrible.
The estrogen got to him.
And like I said, I had an instinct at the time because we know it's giving you man boobs. So cancel the fake American beer.
Bud Light is giving you man boobs.
If
is
you
that
want
true?
to drink, I don't know, drink an old fashioned or a whiskey or something. Just stop drinking estrogen and thinking that it's cool. And let that be the wake up call.
It's so weird to me that he would want this microphone like hanging so much over the scene, you know? But anyways, he probably has like a lot more followers than me because he's insane. He's been featured on Daily Wire, Blaze TV, Newsweek, and Vice. Okay. Well, you know, what can you do? Sometimes that's just what sells is outrage when you're serving fake outrage. The funny thing about all this is that, you know, I suddenly want like Hershey's chocolate bar and wash it down with a Bud Light. However, I did stop drinking because of cancer and chemotherapy. Suddenly, like, alcohol is not appealing to me at all. Also, all the studies came out that it causes cancer to drink. So if you're thinking of a reason not to drink, that's a pretty good one. I can tell you right now, going through cancer is not fun at all. So what I've been drinking lately is actually just 0% alcoholic beer. And it kind of satisfies the craving of wanting a beer, which admittedly, for example, we were going out for like really spicy Thai food the other day, and that just tastes so damn good with beer. And I wanted it, so I just ordered a non-alcoholic beer, and it like did the trick, you know? And it's so much cheaper. Like a pack of non-alcoholic beer is like the same as like the price of bubbly or whatever, you know, soda water. And it's like, wow, I'm not drinking to get drunk. I get that same beer taste, and it costs a fraction of the price. You know, these are recession times, y'all. I think we really need to take this seriously and not only lower our estrogen intake, but why not also lower your alcohol intake as well and get some 0% non-alcoholic beer and fight cancer. Why not make sure you don't miss the next video by liking, commenting, subscribing, and ringing the bell? Thank you so much for watching. It's my homie, too, Taro. Peace.